we did it,
initial investment. Okay.
and I saw, the work that needed to be done to materialize it. It was like when you first get that idea, all you're thinking about is the end result. All we talked about was the amount of money that we could make weekly, and we never considered the amount of work that it was going to take to actually make it. You know what I'm saying? And like that first, man, if you were there at our grand opening, you really saw how crazy this shit could get.
Yeah.
I mean, the shit was massively crazy. I mean, to me, I don't even remember it. I have a hard time remembering it. It's like it was an out-of-body experience.
Death on his face.
It's like
we didn't have a soft opening though. We didn't practice.
We just jumped. We
jumped right in. Like,
right into the deep end.
It's like, yep.
You're gonna have to figure it out.
Cannonball style.
Yep.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, when you work in a restaurant, in the restaurant industry, you have lunch rush, breakfast rush, lunch rush, dinner rush, and when it's slammed in a restaurant, 2-hour waits, and it's just going crazy. That's what you call in the weeds, right? Yeah. I'm in the weeds.
Yes.
And so anyone who's ever been in the weeds knows that being in the weeds is like a temporary blackout. Oh, you will turn around, 2 hours have gone by and you feel like you have no clue what has just happened. So the first day that you opened, I remember you said you had like a line. It was just a line.
Yeah.
It wasn't
we were expecting that, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, just based upon the demographic of the food truck industry at that time and what we were offering. And then for us, and we were like right next door to where we live too. And we know a lot of people in this area. We've been over here for so long.
I
lived over here for 12 years.
I started at Dugan's over here. So everybody watched me grow up over here. So they were very supportive. You know what I'm saying?
Very supportive. And then even more. And then we were in like Kroger's parking lot. So that like multiplied.
On Flat Shows Parkway.
Yep. Yeah, man. And it was like, pow, it just hit. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Miriam, for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've dropped some chicken wings at Dugan's and flipped a couple things on the grill, but to actually work a kitchen,
that's
I'm like, how the hell I go from being a mixologist and a manager to a whole?
You're doing it,
and at home and cooking in masses is something totally different. Like.
Okay, so give people I think people can understand when you are looking at a line of 20 people and there's no break. You're taking orders and cooking and taking orders and cooking, and you're doing it all, or you and your daughters and maybe whoever else. But before we even get there, just running a food truck, I think people think they get what it is, but just give me an idea, or give the people an idea of what a typical, like how that whole thing works, just in terms of, the kitchen and it being mobile, and like kind of what does a day in the life of Gas Food Truck look like, from kind of waking up, what's the first thing you got to do to the last thing you got to do?
Wow.
Shit.
I know that's a lot, but I guess I want people to know, like, just for example, this is what it could be like.
Well, we're up at 7 in the morning, and the first thing that we're doing is going to purchase groceries. You know what I'm saying? Because and that's at least like 2 or 3 different stores.
No, at least 4 or 5 different stores.
No, it's not always that.
It's more than 3.
She over embellishes.
You don't go pick the groceries up. I do.
We do most of it together most of the time. Sometimes we have to split up, and you go do this and I do that. I handle the maintenance on the truck and I drive the truck, so that really takes most of my time is the truck. I really, but it starts out like that, getting groceries and then getting to the truck and seeing, sometimes we have to prep the food, and sometimes you got to go get propane if you need that. You got to go get diesel if you need that. Gasoline for the generators. Anything and everything that has to be done needs to be done before I pull off. So If we're going to be open by noon, yeah, we're up by 7.
Yeah.
You know.
No thanks. Okay, so when it comes to your food, your menu. So if those of you who don't know, Gas Food Truck is all plant based.
Yes.
And if you've been in the food industry anywhere, but particularly in Atlanta, plant based, vegan is just all the rage, and people are doing really interesting, innovative, creative things with their menu. So give people an idea of like why you chose to go the plant-based route. I know that's part of you all's journey. I literally remember Kelli sending to our group text like pictures of these meals that you would be cooking, like it's all vegan, baby, and we were like, why is Kelli doing this to herself? But that it looks good though. So kind of talk about the plant-based life and give people an idea of what your menu offers.
Okay, so for us, it's been what, 3 years now, 3 years.
It's coming up on my third. Yeah, our third.
It's coming up on the 3rd year vegan lifestyle. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I've been vegetarian a little bit here and there. So
I'm straight vegan. I've been straight vegan for 3 years.
Hey, whatever.
It's okay. It's a lifestyle, right?
I'm a human. Okay, bitch, me some cheese
If
here
I
and
slip
there,
up, I pay for it.
or a piece of egg. That's all.
A piece of egg.
It don't be worth it. The pain that you go through, it don't be worth it.
But I think Jay and I have 2 totally different journeys for this whole plant-based thing. We each have our reasons why we went vegan, vegetarian. Mostly for family medical history reasons. Not wanting to go down the same path as our parents. So, I've enjoyed it. If anything, I've learned how to do, Miriam, since I've been with this man for the past 10 years, is cook, bitch. I ain't never cooked this much until I got with Jay.
Yeah.
So
that's good. That's a way to bond,
Right.
And now, you know what the beauty of it is that now that's your business. Like that's what y'all do together anyway.
We smoke a lot.
So I know you've talked about your plant-based journey, but give the folks an idea of your menu, the plant-based offerings that you guys have.
So when we started converting over for the food truck, mind you, we had already that vision board. It was meat-based before we converted. So I've had this same vision board, have not erased it for the past, 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, about 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years. So we have
it was a long journey. I mean, this shit didn't just happen.
Mary, we have a menu vision board. I've had to compress it down to a food truck, and I can only do so much on a food truck. And I don't think people understand. I think I have a bigger menu than most food trucks.
You do have a big menu,
and it's the 2 of us. And sometimes the babies join. Tashi come. His daughters come and help when I know we're going to be busy, but.
Rachel started out with it.
Yeah. Rachel, oh my God, I think we all had lost our damn mind by the end of that damn day.
So I know you've talked, one of the things, whenever we talk about your business, you talk about you always think that the food truck is going to be easier than brick and mortar. What were some of the biggest challenges? If there's folks watching who want to start a food truck, what are the things that surprised you or that kind of jumped out at you? I wasn't prepared for this. I never would have thought of this, but this is part of the journey of opening a business like this.
You're going to exercise muscles that you didn't know you had. It's a lot of self-discipline. You taking on a lot of roles and a lot of hats all at one time. How bad do you really want it?
Just the physical nature of it.
The physical, the mental, the emotional. It's a lot behind it, Miriam. I want to go somewhere right now, just take the key in and just open the door and flip the switch, but it's not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Finding some place to sell the food, that can be challenging.
Yeah. Talk about how you've been able to how do you even start to find a place? How does that process work? And
it's funny that you asked that, today and that we're doing this because, you end up with issues with people, you got food trucks. and situations like that. People that broker themselves out. As an agent. So to say, and that's really annoying. But it's helpful sometimes. At the same time,
Yeah.
But you have to, as we're learning, you have to. It's our terms that you have to work with. We don't come. We're not pulling up working with on your terms. It just doesn't work like that. You need me to pull up. Find another truck.
Right. Somebody said hospitals, please.
Huh?
Somebody in the comments said hospitals, please.
We can do that all day. All you got to do is reach out to us directly.
It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
There are things that have to be in place in order for us to pull up.
Right.
In theory, we kind of thought that we'd be able to like just ride around like the ice cream truck and be like, we got some food.
That's what I used to think. I used to think it was if I get here first, then this is my corner, this is my block.
Right. And I lived in LA and I saw how that culture
taco
was
trucks
ingrained in LA, but you always saw the same trucks in the same spot all the time. You knew it. I mean, they were always there. It wasn't like right now in Atlanta it's so social media driven. That's challenging also.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, people went to restaurants simply just because the food was good.
Right.
Not because they made a creative post to draw your attention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's so much more involved in it. You know what I'm saying? We would love to, like, be parked at the same location every day and do what we got to do the way we want it done, the way we need it done, But it's not that easy. The truck probably should have came second. We probably should have, invested the money into a brick and mortar restaurant first, and then, got a truck, you know what I'm saying, and branched out like that. So we think that we went a little backwards, but it wasn't a bad way to learn the business.
Yeah. What do you guys
real estate?
Yeah. What do you think that what is the kind of characteristic or what's the attitude or approach that the two of you have had together both as business owners and as a couple? What attitude have you brought to this business that you think has helped you to persevere through all of the challenges and through all the barriers that come up? Like, what do you think is that critical kind of trait that you got to have?
Kelli.
The question, shit.
See, she wasn't paying attention. She was texting. It's more than one. It's more than one. Stay out the comments, man.
Stay out the comments.
Yeah, stay out the comments. Try to, be as positive with people as you can. Now, see, I was trained in the front of the house and the back of the house when it comes to restaurants. I started out waiting tables, and then I went into being a bartender, and then I went into the kitchen and started cooking. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Who does that? It's like, I worked in every capacity in the restaurant, even managing, except security. Even had to do security, a few times at some restaurants that I worked at. Wow. I don't know. It's just a lot, It's just a lot. It is. And it's just us two. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That question really is broad because it's like everything is challenging. Everything is challenging. And you never know how challenging it's going to be on a day-to-day basis. Like, at least, like I was, I trained in fast food, later on, when I decided to get out of the restaurant industry. I ended up at a Zaxby's, and I was managing, the Zaxby's. I was one of the associate managers. And that's when I really got to see how hard it is to run a restaurant. And then you got to open. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to open.
Yeah. What's always...
Stop. You just open the weekends, and I get Monday, like today, you know what I'm saying? You're actually you're invading my Saturday. I don't usually do anything but this and sleep on Monday.
I told you could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's just like we're hanging out.
But it's like tomorrow we're not going to be open, but we're going to be working tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll be working Wednesday. We'll be working.
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of people, and the reason why I ask that question is because a lot of people think that the hardest of the work is with the cut once you're open. But there's so much that goes into it before you even get there. And I can imagine just with a food truck also with, you know, having to deal with that maintenance and all of that. And then just kind of navigating. And what I think, you know, I was telling Kelli yesterday or last night that, and I've known her since we were 14, mm-hmm. is that she has always been just like this, like intellectual whiz kid nerd who it doesn't present as a nerd, but as she's an undercover nerd. She is. Whoa. She's an undercover. But seriously, she's an undercover. She is an undercover nerd who can just figure things out. Like she just knows, has this wealth of information and skill and knowledge and know-how. So I'm like, anything that she tries to do, she's going to be successful at it because she just has I don't give a you know what attitude. She's, you know, when it's something that she believes in and passionate about, she's got that fire in her and don't make her mad.
But you know, and that's why I fucked with her in the beginning. She was a creative person and she does not give up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the trait. That's the kind of trait that you need to have in a mate. Is somebody that doesn't give up.
Right.
You know, it's nothing worse than, you know, being with somebody that's always fucking giving up.
Right.
She'll beat the shit until it's like, okay, it's dead, Kelli.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stop.
Literally. Literally.
But and that's one of the best traits that you need in business. Is, you know, you can't give up. You know, especially. So we're coming up on our one year anniversary, June 1st.
Awesome. So 1 year you've been in the food truck game. And, you know, in my last interview, my biscuit, this is the 2-piece in the biscuit episode, he was talking about how part of, and this is Butterly Biscuits, and they do local farmers markets. And he was talking about how part of why he wanted to get into, you know, why it was a good time to get into the food business is because Atlanta is just in this boom of, you know, not just, of course, with gentrification comes the boom of new business, and particularly in Atlanta is a becoming a boom of restaurants and food trucks. You know, the food truck parks have been opening and popping up all over the place. So what have you learned, you know, and you've been in it for a year, you said, or a year in June?
June 1st, yes.
So what have you learned about the Atlanta food scene, and just kind of navigating that both as a food truck and as, you know, as a Black business, coming to it as a couple? What have been some of your experiences in the food scene, and how has that experience been for you? That was so cute just then, whatever that was. That was so cute.
I will say this, seasoning is the key. If you don't know how to season your damn food, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You gotta know how to season your food. Anybody can cook a damn hamburger, cheesesteak, you know, waffle, chicken, whatever. Anybody. How you market yourself and how good your food tastes makes a very big difference. You guys have been very forward with your feedback with our ideal moving forward with this food truck, and I appreciate the positive feedback. Mm-hmm. And we just, I don't know, it's just kind of like flowing with it right now, just taking it one day at a time, figuring it out. Okay, let's try this, let's do this. How are people responding to this? All right, okay, cool.
Well, but I mean, people in Atlanta are always looking to try something new on the food scene.
Yes.
That's what, you know, the energy is like here. Like, and I've lived around the country in different places. You know, I lived in New Orleans. That's where my family's from. Yeah, I lived in Chicago. I grew up there. I lived in Virginia. I lived in New York City, Los Angeles, San Diego. I mean, you know.
San Diego.
And if you got, I mean, those are cities that have good food vibes. You know what I'm saying? I've been to some places that, we're like, man, we got to leave here. You know what I'm
We've
saying?
always been big foodies. Shit.
Right.
And Atlanta is a force to be reckoned with
Yeah.
in so many areas, and food is like definitely in the top 5.
Yeah.
People are always eager, and then there's so many. It's such a melting pot at the same time. You got people from New York, you got people from Chicago, LA, Miami, and everybody does their thing, that they brought from home or whatever, here, and people kind of appreciate that, even not being from there. You know what I'm saying? So our take on that was like, okay, let's offer vegan versions of sandwiches that are popular in other cities. And that's been intriguing to some people.
Especially
it's like
with the names.
A vegan chopped cheese,
Especially with the names.
Yeah.
Right.
So what about the, and I want to get to the names of your items in a second, but talk about the community that you guys have been able to build. I mentioned this to you last night. We were talking about this, Kelli, is that what was so beautiful about I think this was Lockdown Eve, about 6 weeks ago.
So we was at Triton Yards.
Before life, as we know it, ended.
I have you guys videotaped.
We had the night of our lives, our last night of freedom,
right,
back in March.
Right.
You guys popped up out of nowhere.
Right. We came to Triton. We came to Triton Yards off Sylvan Road, and I ordered my food, and I remember I looked and I was like, before I could even barely say anything about the other food trucks, the first thing out of your mouth, Kelli, was like, you got to go down there. Okay, when you finish our food, get one of those ladies' churros down there. And then they got good juices or smoothies or whatever. And it was just like, 3 or 4 little food trucks. And it was like your own little community of like, it was something for everybody. And you had no problem putting them on as I'm, paying for my meal with you guys. So talk about the community that you guys have been able to form since you started in the last year.
We've met some cool people, man. Some very talented, cooks.
Yes.
Creators. We're not just cooks. We create a vibe. And Kelli has been, real instrumental in that because my focus has to be on the grill.
Yeah.
But I'm also like a behind the scenes kind of guy anyway.
Yeah.
I don't take the opportunity. I don't always have the opportunity to jump down off the truck and go try stuff. She brings it to me.
Yeah.
I know. And she makes sure that we're very supportive of other vendors that we work with.
Yes.
And that's the both of us, but I just can't.
Yeah.
Focus is the truck. If I'm not on that truck,
you better be back in like 5 minutes. Hey,
we'll be playing now. We gotta cook.
I'm trying to go find some food.
My food has to go out hot. You know what I'm saying? I take it I take what I do very serious, and I take it personal. You know what I'm saying? It's my integrity that I'm putting in that box.
Yeah.
And I don't like that tested.
And for me, Miriam,
I don't jump down off the truck a lot.
Yeah, I want to meet everybody. For me, you already know I'm a social butterfly.
Right.
Very supportive of everybody. Like, hey, we all in this together. How you doing? I'm such and such. Like, what you got? Let me see. You got a vegetable plate for me?
Right.
Let me get one of them juices right here. Like,
Sometimes we bring home so much food that we don't even get to try it all because you can't eat all of that. You know what I'm saying?
They're all good. I love my little community. I love my little vegan community.
That's
they're very cool and just it's different. I never expected it. It really just came out of nowhere, but I really appreciate it more than anything because we're all supportive of one another, and it's cool as fuck. I'm just gonna be honest.
And on your Instagram, I remember there was like, I don't know if it was a post or someone tagged you. Or it was something, and these were other food truck owners just raving about your food on their platform. So I think that's one thing that has just stood out with you guys is like
very grateful. We're very grateful.
Is that community that you form. Like you guys get, you talk about staying out the comments, but like y'all get a lot of love, and that's just been one thing that's just so amazing. Is like when you have a Saturday at the food truck and your Instagram story is like all the little dashes, and I'm like, and it's all different kinds of people, white folks, young, old, black, everybody is just enjoying and sharing about this. So that's got to be a good feeling to get all that love.
Yeah, it is. It actually is. Like, we really enjoy. I enjoy it. Like,
Yeah.
I can't
She
really put
sees
it
it
in
more
words.
than me. I don't tend to be on social media that much. I mean, I'll hop on Facebook with some crazy shit sometimes, but
Yeah.
I mean, for me, Mary, it's really just the beginning, and I'm enjoying the beginning of this journey. To be able to build a brand. How about that?
yeah.
Because this is just a stepping stone. I mean, we continue. We have bigger dreams than this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if this bullshit hadn't popped off with the coronavirus, who's to say where we at right now?
Hey, but
what's that
we
big?
haven't stopped though. I mean, Tobias asked what's been going on since the pandemic went down.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that was my next question.
Honestly, in the very beginning, when all the shit started going left, our numbers like dropped. They decreased. It was just like, okay, we like really losing money right now just to open up, just to make. It was days I had like $100, and I had been open for like 4 hours. I'm like, what in the shit is going on? I cannot survive this. Then all of a sudden, like after 2 weeks, I guess we were still moving. I just kind of like took it. We took it like what it was. People wanted to get out and get some food. I think people were just tired of cooking or just wanted to get the hell up out the house or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we've been able to, if anything, during this pandemic, meet a lot of new people, a lot more exposure. My numbers have actually increased. And I'm very grateful. If anything, I miss my festivals that were coming, but it's a very positive incline at this moment right now.
Yeah, I went to my mom wanted food from this caterer for Mother's Day. That was like her one thing she wanted. And I remember I went up there to pick up the food from their kitchen, and I was giving the guy a tip. And I'm like, thank you so much. I know y'all are going through it right now. He was like, we're not going through it. He's like,
right. Hey, let me tell you something. Look, people have been going in on Georgia and Atlanta, especially like on Twitter and stuff, because I get on Twitter and I see it, our governor is so stupid, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't know, is it me, or I mean, I just haven't seen it the way everybody is making it seem. I mean, we just been moving. We really haven't changed our routine.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get a little bit more creative with it, if anything.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't afford to. We didn't. I mean, we didn't qualify for a lot of that government assistance.
Yeah, we didn't get any assistance. Like, no.
Well, but what he.
With that shit. So we still got to pay our rent.
I mean, even with our opportunity, with our commissary, that wasn't no help.
Nah.
I've had to pay full rent because it was just like, well, we got this program, y'all can do this. Maybe like, if you want to be a slave to your business, I'm like, no. So what kind of purpose is opening this business?
So
my schedule.
So were there any kind of within the food truck community, were there support resources available? I guess when you realized that we were going to shut down, was there a place kind of where food trucks can come together for resources, or is it just kind of every man and woman for themselves?
Yeah, but that's what it felt like to me.
I think it's a mixture of both. This is how you seek the help. It's help there. If you choose to seek it, you can. It's there. Just ask.
Yeah.
We do have our vision on how we chose to do things, so we kind of like focus in on honing in on what we need to take care of as far as things we have control over,
right?
And try to make it happen.
So the guy. Go ahead.
It is affecting. I mean, like, okay, it seems to be affecting like the meat-based restaurants now because the price of meat is like doubling.
Yes,
and it's not plentiful either. I mean, it's like. We're seeing restaurants posted, hey, y'all, we're not going to have no chicken today. Or we ain't going to have no burgers today.
Yeah.
And
no, really?
That issue. We don't have that issue.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's good and it's bad. I'm sorry. It's not good for meat eaters. You know what I'm saying? But for vegan, especially vegan establishments, it's getting better because some people are going to say, hey, man, this vegan food tastes pretty damn good.
Right.
But I'd eat it.
So,
and it does, y'all. The vegan food is the bomb.
It's good.
Come on, man.
So the guy, that caterer, when I was like, because the Atlanta community, people who kind of have been riding with us from day one, like they want to support us. They want to make sure that we're still in business.
Right.
And he had found that like people were more willing than before to come and support them, like than when it's just any other day. And I think that that's a lot of that though has to do with, like you said, the quality and the taste of your food. Like if it tastes good, then they're coming to eat it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also the reputation and kind of your brand that they want to support. So I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so let's get into this menu real quick.
Shit. Here we go.
Okay.
Because the menu is it's so fun to read, first of all. Like you say, it's a big menu. I'm like, y'all making all of this? There's so much variety. There's so much creativity in there. So tell the people how you if someone's never heard of Gas Food Truck, because I'm sure our viewers keep going up, but we got 20,000 people in here right now. So give people an idea of what how you approach making your menu, and then highlight some of those awesome off the chain items.
I got it.
You gotta answer this. Why I can't answer this? You already know what was going down that night when we came up with that name.
Black love is so beautiful.
We have a lot of great ideas. I mean, for more, than what we have. I mean, like new sandwiches and stuff like that, and stuff that we've had to remove. But one of the biggest issues is trying to find a strain name for that item.
Right. Because
so I'm always like looking at strains. I'm like always, looking up seeds and strains, and trying to be like, man, can I make this strain in the? Because I might like I might not like the strain name. You know what I'm saying?
So each menu item, each menu item is the name of a strain of marijuana.
Well, some are. And some are, and some are names from movies, that are stoner movies. But it's a cannabis themed menu, not based, but themed.
Yeah, I mean we can't.
Hence Gas ATL.
Georgia, we can't do nothing.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Exactly. Right.
When we can, I don't know. That's going to be challenging because it's very expensive.
Yeah.
At the same time, so. Food truck food is already high enough. You know what I'm saying? And if you start infusing shit, that's like a $30 cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? You have to think about it like that.
But
at the same time, economically and but yeah, every now and then we would like to be able to throw something in there like, hey, y'all, today's special is, and it is what it is.
So, Mary.
But right now it's just a theme.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's just a thing.
But what I thought he was going to tell you also was the night that you came up with the name. We already had a list of names. I was like, okay, this is boring. This doesn't stand out. So let me check this name. Let me Google this shit. And we were just in the kitchen. We were chilling, and we were smoking some gas. I was like, and Jay had made a sandwich. I was like, this is a good ass sandwich.
We was like,
I'm being real with you. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold up. Because we were really, things were in motion. We had bought the truck. We already had an LLC, but I didn't like the name. I wanted to do it.
What was the first name?
Shit was moving. We went and bought the truck.
Let me see.
Mary was moving real quick.
I got something right here.
What was the original name?
Well, man, I think the last one.
We tried Botanic, Botanic, Botanic. We tried that. I got Urban Garden. Yeah. What? Urban Garden. That's what we had agreed on. Urban Garden.
Yeah.
Urban Garden sounds very Atlanta, you know, chic, urban garden.
It really did. Yeah.
That had a stench of gentrification.
Right. And I was like,
urban garden smells like gentrification.
Right. Like, smell like patchouli.
Smell like patchouli, really,
right.
nigga?
And then we came up with the name Smash, but there's a Smash Burger joint.
Smash Burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really wanted that, but I couldn't have it.
Well, good ass sandwiches is that is very fitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It came at the right moment. I was just like, ooh, we got that gas.
Yeah. And it was like, damn. The monster was made.
And I did all the research to look for the name. I broke it down. I searched it. I was like, hey, this is not claim. I'm going to claim this domain. It's like the most basic, simple, straight to the point shit. How did you guys miss this shit?
Right. And
classic.
We also trademarked it as well.
I trademarked it. I haven't even posted it yet. Like, I literally got a trademark. I own good ass sandwiches and more.
Yeah.
Trademark.
So for people watching, what is next for Gas Food? What is next for Gas Food Truck ATL? And then make sure I want y'all to make sure to tell people, like, if somebody comes there, it's their first time, what meal do they need to order? So give us kind of what's coming up, what can we expect from you all, and then give them that the best possible order that they can make.
Okay, so we've been working on stuff behind the scenes. So we have sauces and cheeses and things that we're about to bring out. Say hi, Cosmo.
Hi, Cosmo.
Hey, Cosmo. Depending on how,
right.
The how high. Everybody likes the how high. There you go.
Hey, that
hey Jennifer and the jerk diesel. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna get creative with it and just play around with it for right now, Miriam. I mean, we're looking into going to brick and mortar.
I love y'all.
And I'm not gonna go into full details online because I gotta keep some shit to myself.
Oh, well, we have a new.
But we have some things that we're gonna drop and we're working on moving forward. But you already know how I get down.
Mm-hmm.
Like just.
Oh yeah, I'll drop a hint. I come from a New Orleans family.
So yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so if it's your first time, coming to Gas Food Truck, where can they find you guys next, and what do they need to order when they get there?
Ooh. So always the How High, which is our take on a vegan New York chopped cheese. Jake introduced me to that. The patty melt, vegan patty melt. Then you got the Cubano, which those are our top three.
Cubano.
I do have a sandwich on there. If you like messy burgers, it's called the Straight from the Deck. It was inspired by Miss Ann's Ghetto Burger.
Yes.
Memorial Drive.
Yes.
I am from Decatur. I grew up eating Miss Ann's all day.
Vegan version of Miss Ann's Ghetto Burger.
Yes.
The Ghetto Burger. Rest in peace, Miss Ann. Rest in peace, Miss Ann.
Yes. Yes. Messy ass damn burger. But it's so good.
Yeah. Where are y'all going to be next? When's the next time we can come out and support?
Stay tuned. We'll let you know. Yeah, we'll let you know.
With the food truck, thing, it can change at a moment.
Yeah, I don't have a set.
Yeah.
We work weekends right now. I can give you locations as we get closer to the weekend. We like, okay, this is where we're going to be.
Sometimes you got to read through the request.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pin this in here. All right, well, it's that time. We've reached that time. The interview portion is over, and it's time for us we're no longer friends. We are competitors. For those of you who haven't been to my show, and I hope we have 7 minutes, so I hope it doesn't cut us off. But I think we can get it done.
7 minutes for what?
Till it cuts off. Instagram be cutting you off. We can come back though. Yeah, they cut you off at the hour, but you can come back.
Oh, okay.
Every episode ends with a freestyle battle. Now,
you gotta be out of your mind.
I understand that.
Oh,
I understand that people from the Midwest have a different idea of what rapping is.
okay.
You know, you guys
Let me
are
clarify
really
something though. I didn't. Okay, I'm from Chicago, but those crucial years of me growing up, I grew up on the East Coast in Virginia. So I came up in a different school of hip hop.
Nobody want to hear all that shit.
I didn't come up in the school
what you gonna do?
the Midwest school of hip hop. I came up in the New York school of hip hop.
What are you gonna do, Miriam? Let's see.
okay. But before we start, are there any more excuses that you would like to give?
Thank you. You agree. You said I'm not freestyling.
So the way it works is like this. We can go bar for bar, or I can let you go since you're the guest. You're working on your day off. I can let you go first. You just spit whatever you need to spit, and then I will follow up, and we'll just see what happens from there. It's up to you. Whatever you'd like to do.
Oh shit!
Do you have like music?
I mean, I can go just no. Well, see, the problem is with music, like there's a delay, so you can play music on your end, but you know, real rappers, real MCs can go off the dome. Real MCs can rap even if they at home. Real MCs don't need no beat. Real MCs rap up and down the street.
Okay, don't stop. Real MCs don't stop.
Go ahead.
You got the line on your forehead just like a crop coming at you here. I'm going to drop the fucking beat. I got my dog named Cosmo, and we don't be walking on the street. I take him for rides. I open up the window. He puts his hands out, then just like I hit the endo. And then when I pull up at the spot, it's gas food truck ATL. Ben, what you got?
Nobody's gonna embarrass me on my own show. I'm gonna rap until Instagram says I can't no more. You want to talk about smoke of that endo? But you, my dog, just like your name is Cosmo. Boy, that sandwich, it was good as hell. That's gas food truck ATL. I want a chopped cheese and a jerk diesel. You know what it is, and I'm sneaky like a weasel. I can't believe I just rhymed diesel with weasel. I can't believe I'm painting the rhymes with an easel. Oh, I'm going hard on the boulevard, just like my name is Mina D. Last name is Denard. Ooh.
I'm out of this shit. I ain't got nothing to do with this. She already virtual
slapped. You sound like you wrote your rhyme, but I don't write no rhyme because this is my time. Put the paper down, put the pen down too, because I'm coming at you off my mind, and that's how I do.
Kelly?
Shot got a beer right here. She got the traditional Jose Cuervo, because that's how we do it in here. Yeah, my walls are teal, but my couch is gray. I got the DJ booth right here, so what else you gonna say? Come for a visit, pick up a burger, pick up a Cubano, and then you gonna merge her. Flavor and flavor, all up on top. I got the chili and the cheese for you to put your bread and sop. Bars, 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 bars.
Wait, no.
Bars. Shit, this is how we live. We always cracking jokes because we don't take our lives too serious. We always smile and love and show gratitude. And that's how we do. Gas Food Truck ATL from us because we love you.
Oh my God. That's it. That is it.
Oh, that was great. That was awesome.
Jay.
You know, I was in the shower, like, in my head, like, okay, maybe I could, what like, you know, which way I was going to go. Was I going to go with the A's or go with the O's, go with the E's? Or the A's, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pick, you know, which way your flow gonna go.
Yes, make it easy. It's all about how do I make this
She gonna come in the bathroom and like interrupt my whole flow on my head, like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like in here rhyming in my head, trying to like, she want to freestyle. I'm like, damn, let me pull out the arsenal.
Oh, shit.
That's what's up. Challenge your
That was amazing. Oh my God. That's usually like that's I can't say nothing after that. You got it. My brother.
That's what's up. Thank you.
Y'all, the way that I've been laughing tonight, I knew that this is what this was gonna be like. I knew it.
Yep.
I knew it. And we did a good job, Kelli. We didn't get too crazy.
Right.
No,
Look, we on social media. You know, we're the beginning of the millennials. This shit is kind of like left or right for me. So I love you.
I love you guys so much. I am so proud of you, y'all. Gas Food Truck ATL at Gas Food Truck ATL. Go follow them. Go support them. There's nothing better than supporting folks, local businesses, family businesses, Black-owned businesses, and plant-based businesses that are not trying to kill us and clog up our arteries.
Right.
The flavor is there.
Yeah.
The variety is there. The customer service, the joy, and the love is there.
Free. We cook with sunflower oil. Like we pretty mindful of the ingredients that we use.
Yeah.
We're like the middleman for like a good juicy cheeseburger. Ain't nothing ever been good about a goddamn cheeseburger.
It's a terrible idea. Cheeseburger was a bad idea.
It's a great cheeseburger though. It's a healthy cheeseburger. You know.
Yes, and I have to shout out your delicious fries also. That you got it comes with all the sandwiches, but make sure that you guys go support, especially now. And I just want to say on behalf of just the whole Atlanta community, we appreciate you all still busting your asses every